All right, welcome back in a real way. Today we could talk about um, boundaries, right? And what I mean by boundaries is there are there's a lot of trendy stuff going on in regard to like mental health and relationships and things of that nature, but really it's common sense in regard to just building and establishing healthy self is what it boils down to, man. All this stuff is really just it's tangents of the same knowledge of self that motherfuckers been trying to pass off to us since the fucking '60s or whenever when it when the first educational enlightenment renaissance first sparked. You know what I mean? Back in the '60s and '70s or whatever, and the one leg that I want to dive into today is kind of in the realm of boundaries, and ultimately it started off with a phrase in which is everybody can't have access. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure y'all have heard the phrase "everybody can't go." That's one thing, but that's talking about in your movement and in your evolution and in your elevation. Sometimes you have to leave people behind. That's one thing, but I'm talking about in your square, in yourself, in your oneness. Everybody shouldn't have access to you. You know what I'm saying? And by you, I mean all the aspects of you that it takes to pour into somebody or to build somebody, and those typically you can break those aspects down into three things, which is money, your feelings, and your time. So basically, everybody shouldn't have access to your money, your feelings, or your time. You know what I'm saying? The only people that should be the people that are beneficial to you in whatever your main aim is. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're not talking about people like you know, I don't know, even past a certain point, even to you, even your children. Once they get to a certain point, if they become destructive, to your vision of health and welfare, you know what I'm saying? Even they may not be able to have access to your time, feelings, and money. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is, and protecting yourself is not an attack to anyone else. And it's you have to be leery and wary of people who behave or create the atmosphere as if you're supposed to allow someone to treat you wrongly, or that is wrong for you to stand up for yourself and to set your boundaries, to be like, no, like this is what I have allotted for you. You know what I'm saying? And like me and my crew, we got a way of saying, it all boils down to what you can afford. You know what I'm saying? And that's again dealing with time, money, and feelings. What can you afford? You know what I mean? Because when you're giving these things to people, you can't be looking for no return. You know what I'm saying? So it boils down to what can you afford to lose? You know what I mean? What can you invest in these people and afford to actually lose it? You know what I mean? If it doesn't come back, when it doesn't come back. You know what I mean? If it's not returned, can you afford to lose it? If you can't afford to lose it, don't give it. You know what I'm saying? And that's with your time, your money, and your feelings. If you can't afford to lose it, don't give it. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. You don't have to trust anybody with your feelings. You know what I mean? Nobody's entitled to that. They can call it whatever you want. I've been seeing a lot of things lately. People talking about when men have so many trust issues, and you let one little funky girl hurt your heart and blah 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 blah. All that shit sounds good, man. And men, if we do have more trust issues, then it makes sense, because that means we've been dealing with women. And how can we not have trust issues when women, their primary mode of interaction is dealing with deceit and manipulation? Not saying it's malicious. That's just their modus operandi. That's how they operate. Even when you look at them, it's all based on deceit. Heels is to make them taller. Push up bras to make them make the girls perkier. Like, it's deceit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So if we have trust issues, that should be understandable, because when we're interacting with, especially the majority of the people that we're going to come across on a day-to-day basis is women, because why? Women are more of the population, and if all these women are moving around with on low modes of manipulation, then it only makes sense that the trust is going to be failing. So, in any event, when you can't, you know, when you don't see the value of investing in a person past a certain point, that's not any knock to them. And even if it is a knock to them, oh well. Like, you're not required, you're not responsible to put yourself at a disadvantage for anyone. You know what I mean? For anyone. And there's no glory in that, because the first thing that someone is going to say as soon as you do put yourself in a disadvantage for them is, I never asked you to do that. You did that on your own. And now you feel double dumb. You know what I'm saying? Because not only do you not have what you had in the first place for yourself, you know what I'm saying, you don't even have the trust in the respect of the person that you gave it to. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have the appreciation of the person you gave it to. You know what I mean? So, like, don't never put yourself at a disadvantage for anyone. So, yeah, your time, your money, and your feelings. You know, everybody can't have access. You know, the wild thing about that is trust only works one way. So, you know, you don't find out who you can't trust until they reveal that you can't trust them. You know what I mean? However, you can determine how much trust you want to offer a person off the rip. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you feel like they have qualified themselves, you know, accordingly with that amount of trust, then you might feel prone to adding on a little more. You know what I'm saying? But that's on you. That's what you. But again, you always got to keep it in mind. Can you afford to lose it? If you can't, and if you can't afford to lose it, then don't give it to them. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford to lose it, don't pass it off. You know what I mean? It's common sense, man. I'm not gonna beat y'all down with it. You know what I mean? You know. Hopefully you get something valuable from that, and peace. Love y'all.